Welcome to the second part of my interview with Elle, co-founder and managing director of Let's Talk About X. This time, we talk about LGBT plus identity, the self-identification, and how it is important in workplaces, their workshops, and they also flip the table a little bit and ask me about B2B marketing. I enjoy doing these episodes a lot, and I hope you do too.
I understand that you also do quite a bit of work in the LGBT plus space.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about self-identification. Can you share a little bit about your work in the LGBT space, please?
Yeah, for sure. And I guess for context, I'll start with my identities, which are often fluid and changing. So at the moment, queer sits nicely with me, and non-binary. I think I like them because they are more the umbrella terms for me personally, because I do feel like my identity is quite fluid and often changing. And I think that kind of, I think with labels, they mean different things to different people. And when you use the term self-identify, that's kind of what I think of. I think about the importance of people being able to choose the language that is comfortable for them, for themselves, and others then kind of being aware of that. And like, if we all just are aware that, because I'm comfortable with the word queer doesn't mean that you, Arthur, are, or someone else is. And I think that's kind of the foundation of a lot of our inclusion training is not like, we don't sit there and say, here's what the L, the G, the B, the T mean. Like, we don't sit there and give the definitions, because I think it's the 21st century. People can Google it if they want a bit of a definition. What we do is more just give people a bit of lived experience, understanding of our experiences and what it can be like in a workplace as queer, as gender diverse, but also giving people tools to make people feel comfortable regardless of what their identity is, or without even knowing. Like, you don't need to, we don't know by looking at someone if they identify as this, that, or the other. And we don't have to know, because at the end of the day, what matters is the way we talk to people and the language that we use, and being aware of, and this can take a fair bit of learning, but being aware of any assumptions that we might make, again, as a result of the world around us. Because in Australia, we have been raised in this kind of cisgendered, heterosexual kind of lens for a very long time. So to start considering trans and gender diverse perspectives, gay, bisexual, lesbian, LGBTIQA plus perspectives, the first step is often just identifying the assumptions that we make and then changing the language. Like, for example, just things like a lot of people will still say, ladies and gentlemen, and that, was always a very nice, friendly greeting. And a lot of people unaware that perhaps someone who's, you may have heard a good dog in the background, that's our dog being praised, I'll grab her in a sec, is that, potentially someone who might be non-binary, like myself, might hear ladies and gentlemen and just be like, what about me? So it's things, again, similar to consent. It's things that often we don't realize with our language because of the world we've grown up in. So drawing attention to that.
I think one of the important things is this creating a space that get people to feel empowered to talk about it, to communicate it, be open about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Just to say that hypothetically, that you're at the beginning of a workshop in a business that you don't know, like you don't know anyone that, well, except the person organizing it and such as, and you want to start with a message that help empower people about topics like diversity and or consent and things like that. How would you start that? How would your message be?
Oh, so
this is unrehearsed, so
sorry
about that audience.
That's no. I could put some music in the background for everyone. How would I start? And I mean, if I keep my answer kind of broad, just in terms of like, if I want to try and get as many people in the room to feel comfortable with me being there, because I don't know them, but they don't know me either. And we're, going to talk about some things that can be pretty close to home for a lot of people. If we're talking about sexual harassment or we're talking about LGBTIQA plus inclusion and allyship. So I think the biggest things I would do in that first minute or so just of introducing myself is use gender neutral language. So something like, hi, everyone. And I would introduce myself with my pronouns, which not everyone has to do, but I am comfortable with my pronouns and know that for some people in the room, essentially that can signal to someone who's trans or gender diverse that, okay, if I want to share my pronouns, I can, or even just like, okay, it's an acknowledgement of just like, this is a safe space or this person is safe. And what's the next thing I was going to say? Oh, I like to acknowledge my context, because I think when we're talking about issues like these, it's really important to know the perspective of the person you're listening to. So I will often give a bit of a background of myself in terms of, I'm Greek Australian and I've lived across Australia and England and Thailand and Greece, and that, has kind of taught me different perspectives of seeing things. I'll talk about my sexuality, my gender identity, because, I think, especially if we think about intersectionality, like my experience is not going to be the same as a trans woman's, and it's not going to be the same as a Black queer person's, or these are the types of things I would do at the start to try and make people comfortable. It's about acknowledging that, I think, you're not doing it explicitly, but by talking a bit about myself and using inclusive language that doesn't make assumptions, the message I would be hoping to send is, we're all different and that's okay, and I'm here to listen and learn.
And is that like, not vilifying anyone, or just having that initiative to start a conversation with someone different from you? It's not that
yes.
So it's actually,
and we can get trapped in these bubbles often of just people that are really, really, really similar, which it has its place. It's nice to find that comfort.
Yeah.
But often then we might not expand our worldview or be challenged in good ways. I don't mean challenged as in like challenge your identity, but I mean, for example, a way that I've been positively challenged recently is the time that I've spent so far in Thailand. I've realized that a lot of things that I used to see as part of my own queer identity as like, this is correct and this is how I should be treated, don't apply here, because sexuality is conceived differently and gender is conceived differently. And it's kind of been a really nice spotlight on, I know that gender is a social construct, but I've never been somewhere else where it's constructed differently. So it's really interesting to see that.
It's about learning the context and communicate.
Exactly. Yeah, context is everything.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. Well, now I think it's time for us to flip the table. That if you have a question for me.
Yes, I do. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So my question is, what is your top tip for marketing business to business?
Oh gosh. Well,
Editing Arthur here. I rambled on a bit. Well, quite a bit actually. But that shows how much patience and how composed Elle is. So that's a good sign for an educator. So I drew from my experience in that new B2B energy and utility conference to answer Elle's question. We need to understand that the natural timeline for lead generation would be longer. And I'm very glad that I had a good colleague in sales and we lift each other up by tailoring that communication based on which stage of that timeline is. So I raise awareness and he addresses barriers. And more speakers and exhibitors signs up, I feed the information into the communication, which he can leverage to show how legit the conference is and close the deal. Now, of course, for small businesses, many are operated with limited resources and very likely that they would have a combined function for the person or the team. So, but I would encourage them to use a visual aid like a table, a spreadsheet, or a board to visualize where each lead is, to tell who's in that potential lead stage. So to work on the awareness side of things, like more about what Let's Talk About X is and how it works, and who's in the qualified lead stage when it can address things like the business case and the moral case of how Let's Talk About X can help their business specifically. Elle and their partner already have a great LinkedIn presence, which means posting can help support their work in showing how legit everything is. That can really benefit. So with things like testimonies or short articles that respond to current events.
So it's sometimes, I think, especially in the small business space, that we mixed it up a little bit too much. We just go in and start selling the benefit right away, and then it starts to sound like, it sounds to sound, oh, remember those infomercials? They might still be there. It's like, I use this product and I lose 20 pounds.
Yes.
Like, attending a workshop? What are they doing? Chopping a hand off? I mean, so I might actually swap my lighting a little bit to put a warmer color on my face.
Okay. Get some glow.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Yep. Thank you.
Do you have any comment or anything you want to add on to it?
I will sneak in another side question.
Oh.
What do you think is the most commonly missed opportunity marketing business to business?
Oh, okay. Well, I think LinkedIn is a really good thing. LinkedIn article is a really good thing for people to connect. I always encourage people to send in a company profile because you can actually set up a target audience.
I'll have to go into the settings and have a little play around.
Yes, have a little play around, but like, let me know. I'm happy to help a little bit.
Excellent. Thanks.
Well, all right, we're gonna go on a break, but before that, I'm going to set up my lighting a little bit. So after the break, that I might look a little bit different. Don't worry, I won't be turned into a cat. And then I'm gonna throw a bunch of random questions to Elle.
All right.
I had the fortune to do marketing in different industries, and I noticed some places across industries don't acknowledge difficult conversations, which is bad. But to me, it's equally problematic when an organization uses taglines of cohesiveness or harmony to avoid important conversations. Luckily, for practical strategy that create a better community, Let's Talk About X is here.
Joey, say hi. Say hi. She's so unimpressed. I don't know what she was doing out there, but she's like, why have you brought me inside? I'll put you back out in a sec, Joe. Just say hi. Okay.
What's the name?
Joey.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Joey.
Because she looks like a little kangaroo and she hops around. Yeah. All right, you can go back outside. She's like, let me go play.
Yeah, so we'll leave Joey alone. And I'm very happy about this lighting.
Yes, it looks spectacular.
I know. I should have used it from the beginning.
Dog.
Sometimes it always feels a little bit like that, but it feels like a strand of hair pointing one way.
Yeah, a little cowlick.
Yes. Oh gosh. It's like, oh. Yeah, and the thing is, I say to many people, if you think that there's like hair in your nose sticking out, it is. It's all part.
Yep.
Anyway, this is the part of a quick fire round of random questions I never show you. I haven't show you before. So you're just gonna jump in. If you can't think of anything about it, feel free to say no. Next one. Once again, no is a completely good answer. You don't need to say, I hope you got hit by a car.
Practice saying no.
What is the one item you couldn't live without?
Oh, that's a big question. I'm not allowed to say my dog, am I? Because she's not an item. I would say it's a lacrosse ball, and I use it for like self-massage to get into trigger points. And it's really good, especially when working at the desk after a long day. Just lacrosse ball.
That's a great idea. That's a great
So
idea.
good. Yep.
See, what are you like outside of the work?
I like, yeah, what am I like is an interesting one. I guess a bit silly with those close to me. I like to, yeah, just be quite silly. I'm also probably more quiet than people expect. I have become more of an introvert over the years. I like to sit with my dog, and I've gotten into crochet recently, and
No.
like, yeah, going snorkeling when the weather's right. Yeah, I think I'm quiet outside of work.
Well, I mean, you have to talk every day, and you have to meet people and things like that. And that's something that I believe. It's like there's a social battery. Everyone has a limit somewhere.
Yes.
Like, if I just kind of like want to be on my own and turn into Sophia from the Golden Girls, so be it.
Embrace it.
Exactly. What's your favorite theme park?
Oh, Universal Studios. I went once when I was about 15 in LA, and I'm a movie nerd. I have a film degree, and I taught media in school, and I loved it.
Wow. Yeah, I should have asked you what subject were you teaching
Yeah,
when you were a teacher?
media and media, psychology, and year 7 science. I
Okay,
like to keep things interesting.
I'm not gonna ask how did that mix come about, but it is it is what it is, and I'm glad that it took you where you are today.
Me
So,
too.
which talent or skills would you like to wake up with tomorrow?
Ooh, the ability to understand and speak any language.
Ooh, that's a
It's
very
not a
useful
real
one.
ability, but I would take it.
No,
It's more of a
that's
superpower, that one.
yeah. Well, I actually have a superpower question, so let's jump into it now. So, what kind of what if you're a superhero? What kind of superpower would you like to have?
Oh, yeah, see, that's usually my superpower. Let's go with, I love being underwater, so I think it would be cool to like turn into like a fish or a mer person or something like that.
So you
And
can
with it to not be scared, because I love going underwater, but I'm also very scared of the water.
so you can like sustain for a long time
Yeah,
like an
exactly.
aquatic animal. So you're not.
Breathe air, but also maybe have gills.
Ooh,
I just love underwater. I love fish.
you.
I could talk to you about fish for ages. I won't, but I could.
Let's not. No, I mean that's a very interesting thing. That's it's related to what you enjoy. Now,
Yes.
what is your most overused word or phrase?
Oh, that's a good question.
Please don't say no. We already covered it.
I say like a lot, as
Okay.
I think a lot of millennials say like.
Yeah.
But, oh, what else do I say a lot? I don't know, but I'll often just be like, wah, like make that sound.
That's
If
fine.
something's
Yep.
stressful
Sometimes
or annoying, wah.
name a job you do in the multiverse. So sometime in your past that you might have a different path that you have a different version of L. Who do you think that person would be doing?
I would work on a film set,
Oh,
probably as like first assistant director, so keeping the show running and coordinating things. Yeah.
fantastic. And also that's a great position to be in because if the movie flops, they will just point their finger to the director and producer.
No one knows who the
you-
first AD is.
Exactly. You just go in, have all the fun, got paid, get out. No
Yep.
one's blaming
Recharge my
anyone.
battery.
Exactly. That's a good smart. What inspires you on a Tuesday?
On a Tuesday?
Yes.
Ooh. On a Tuesday, I'm inspired that the next day is Wednesday because on Wednesday, I have a couple of group chats with my friends called the Wednesday Weekly Waffle, and we send little videos to each other to update on the week. So that actually inspires me on a Tuesday. I get excited for Waffle Wednesdays.
I might copy that idea now. This is good.
It's really
This
nice.
is good. Oh,
I actually got the idea from someone on TikTok or Instagram said that he and his friends were doing it. And yeah, we've copied it and it's really nice.
amazing. What's one piece of advice that you received in the past that you'd like to pass to the others in the community?
With relation to small business, I think something that was really useful advice was that people will always misunderstand what you do. So it's good to explain it in lots of different ways and use examples. And also, like, even just with LinkedIn titles, like, I do this thing for these people. Because, yeah, we all have such a vast interpretation of the world and people will always misinterpret what a small business does.
Totally. Well, I mean, I think, I don't remember where I heard it from, but it's from a drag queen. Is that like, there even for the blind seller, there's a blind buyer. So it's like
Yeah,
there's always an opportunity somewhere that you just need to look for it. And
yeah, I
there you
like it.
go. There you go. Well, if you have unlimited resources to make a streaming special or series or movie, what would you like to do?
Ooh.
That might be the alternative universe, Al, that
Yes, it might
extend that
be.
story. Extend that story.
Yeah, I will. I will extend that story. And I reckon it would be some kind of documentary about long distance cycling because I love long distance cycling. So then I
Wow.
could do it alongside making maybe like a 3-part Netflix series or something, or a movie.
That could be very interesting. That could be. What's your favorite way to relax and unwind on a Wednesday?
I like to sit in the hammock when the weather's nice. Got a little hammock out back, sit in the hammock and read a book or listen to some music at the end of a Wednesday with snacks. I love food. Always food, always snacks.
Yes. Yes. Oh gosh, sidebars, making friends when you're in your early 20s, don't really know what kind of things that you like or not. I was so unfortunate that I befriended a bunch of skinny twins who never eat. And
Oh,
I was like, I always get hangry within 2 hours or something like that.
me too.
I was like,
That's why I say,
no, no.
oh, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be very nice
Yeah.
because I always need to eat.
Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, you know what? I mean, I wish you well, but I'm not gonna hang out with you.
Each to their own, but yeah, food's important to me.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, I mean, like all the fabulous food in Thailand, fresh, good, like and gourmet. That is a lot like more affordable in here than in other.
Yeah, and ingredients are just fresh. Like you cut into the ginger and the juice is just, oh, it's
And,
beautiful.
and and you can tell that they are like it wasn't something that was frozen or being put in
Yeah,
storage for a long
exactly.
time. Like they take pride in what they're doing, and that's amazing. All right, one more question. How do you
Yep.
keep the momentum going?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's, as much as it sounds maybe counterintuitive, but it's by making sure I have breaks. So maybe it's by momentum being cycles of like go, 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 rest and recover and have a sunset drink and
I
taking
think that makes
time
sense.
to chill.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's having that balanced way, and the other thing is like I think unlike the generations before us, that is like work is everything. Work is your entire life. That you prioritize that. But we're kind of in this interesting part in history that we can design our lives, and I think that's very. And another important thing is like, congratulations to you and your partner for creating Let's Talk About X, because you're using what you know to forge your own path, and it's amazing. And congratulations for also picking up a really good name. You know that, you guys. Oh gosh. Anyway, well, before I let you go, would you like to once again share with people how they can find you?
Yes, absolutely. So the website is talkaboutx.org. On socials, we are at talkaboutxau. And there's also the Let's Talk About X podcast. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is really, really long, so maybe we'll put it in the podcast description.
Yeah. Everything's under the show notes. Seriously, and all the social media posts, I'll make sure to tag you guys on that one. But so I mean, it's about Let's Talk About X. Check out their website. Check out, they have a really good LinkedIn profiles. Like, just take a look.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much
for spending time with me today. It's been great.
Oh, it's been fun. I think now I'm gonna make myself some food. Now you're talking about food. Okay.
Me too.
And cut.
I want to start this episode's reflection with the fact that taking a bit of time to embrace another person's self-identification, sometimes as little as referencing their pronouns, doesn't cost you much, but you can make someone else's day. From a small business perspective, a little time and investment can create a safe space for people working with or for you and your clients, making them feel like not only physically there, but also invested and engaged. And that's retention at both ends. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. No matter if it is a small business, a side hustle, a creative project, or something independent, it's about forging your own path while being yourself. Now, you don't have to be a purpose-driven business to have a purpose, but learning to talk about inclusivity, taking initiative, and be open to change. Sometimes we can make mistakes. Acknowledge it and know that you'll be better next time. Please check out part 1 of this episode, whichever platform you're listening to this episode just before, where you can find my top 3 business learning from my chat with Al. And to add a 4th point, whatever you do, if you have a business case and a moral case to it, it can always help anchor the way you carry yourself and attract the right connections. A huge thank you to Elle for taking part in this supersized interview, and thank you for sticking around. Get Chatty podcast is produced by me, Arthur, the Chatty Curator. Thanks for your company. I hope you enjoy this podcast, learn something new, or pick up something helpful to realize your aspirations. The podcast guests are appearing in kind, so please consider supporting the podcast by supporting them. Small moments like liking or sharing on social media, or even tagging a friend about a post can really help. You can find the detail on the show notes or send the episode's dedicated page on chattycurator.com.